The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users, on demand on iTunes, on demand on YouTube, and now, thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Cable Companies, serving an additional 12 million households. I'm your host, Gary Baumgarten. Well, you know, it's election time here in the United States, and this affects all of you, whether you're in the United States or not. That's just the reality of life in the big city, in this global economy, where there's one big giant power, both military and economic power. What happens in the United States affects people all around the world. This is true, as a good friend of mine would say. And when we are running this election campaign in the United States, of course, it's very, very important to look at the issues that the various candidates stand for. Are they for gun control or are they not? Are they for abortion or are they not? Are they for intervention in other nations in the pursuit of spreading U.S. foreign policy, or are they not? Do they believe in affirmative action or do they not? Etc., etc., etc. These are all the kinds of issues that come up in a campaign. And we know where the candidates stand on the various issues because we have opportunity to look at their voting records, and we have opportunity to hear what they have to say during the debates and when they are questioned by reporters. But I would argue, ladies and gentlemen, that it is at least equally important, and perhaps more so, to know about the character of the individuals who are running for office. I will give as example Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani, as mayor of New York City, oftentimes, in my viewpoint, took positions that I disagreed with. But the one thing I really like about Rudy Giuliani is that he stands for something, and he says what he stands for, and you know that what you hear from Rudy Giuliani is what he believes. He says it without a lot of concern about the political ramifications of his position. And he acknowledges, by the way, when he's wrong. You saw him on Tim Russert this past weekend. You know that he was on the ropes on a lot of issues, and he acknowledged when he made bad decisions as mayor of New York. And I give him a lot of credit for doing that. So when it comes to Hillary Clinton, there may be times when I agree with her policies, but there are some times where I have some difficulty with her character. And I covered both of them, Rudy and Hillary, when I was at CNN here in New York City. I had plenty of opportunity to meet with them both and question them both. And there was always a sense that there was something a little bit controlling by Hillary Clinton in my dealings with her. Well, we are now given an opportunity through this wonderful documentary. By the way, it's a documentary for some reason the mainstream news media is not telling us very much about. It is a documentary about the character of Hillary Clinton. And the guy who put this documentary together with home videos, including the most lavish private fundraising party ever conducted in the history of the United States, and that was a fundraising party for Hillary Clinton as she ran for senator here in New York State. Peter Paul happens to be the guy who threw the party and who took the video of all the things that he saw behind the scenes as a major fundraiser for Hillary Clinton to show us who the woman is behind the mask. The name of the film, the documentary, is Hillary Uncensored. The filmmaker is Peter Paul, who lived it. He lived it. He was there. He saw it with his own eyes. He participated in it. He sat next to Hillary and Bill at this major fundraiser where he brought in Cher and I forget who else, Michael Bolton, I think, a whole bunch of, I had all their names here. I don't know what I did with them. He'll tell us all about it. Peter Paul, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Hey, Gary, that was a great introduction, and I think you hit it right on the head there, that underlying everything in connection with a candidate to take the control of this country is the character. The policies are important, but the underlying character is key. If that candidate has a contempt for the rule of law and has developed an expertise in being unaccountable for violating the rule of law on a regular basis, then that person should be disqualified from being given control over the apparatus of government in this country. And that's my crusade at this point, is accountability. I'm not opposed to Hillary necessarily because of her ideology. I'm opposed to the idea that someone who has perfected the ability to be unaccountable for corrupting every branch of government to avoid accountability, that person should be exposed to the American public for what she is. And that's my crusade for the last 6 years.
And actually, Peter Paul, you raised money for Hillary Clinton, and then after that money was handed, you questioned how it was spent. It's the accounting of the monies.
No, it's actually more pernicious than that. I actually personally contributed, according to the government prosecutors, who prosecuted her finance director for hiding how much I gave. They said that I gave over $1.2 million personally to her campaign. They know that I gave over $1.6 million, but to be conservative, that's what they said. And I personally gave the money at the direct request of and the solicitation of Bill Clinton in connection with his agreement to work with my public company when he left the White House. So the difference in this case from all of the other bundling and traditional campaign finance frauds that they're connected with is, in this case, the magnitude of what happened and the damages that they caused personally are so extraordinary that they just demonstrate why these people can't be allowed to have absolute power in this country.
What concerns me the most, and we'll get into the specifics of all this, but what concerns me the most, Peter Paul, about the character issue is that here you have people who who are looking to lead the country again. And I thought myself that Bill Clinton was a pretty darn good president, frankly, but who care nothing about or little about the rule of law if that rule of law stands in the way of what they believe and what they are attempting to accomplish.
Well, you know, Gary, with all due respect, when you consider what Bill Clinton personally did on two fronts to sell secrets to the communist Chinese to be able to use against us in developing missile technology to deliver nuclear weapons to our shores. And you understand how L'Oreal, through this fellow Mr. Schwartz, made a contribution of $1 million, and Bill, in exchange for that, moved the authority to determine the export of our technology for missile guidance from the Department of Defense to the Department of Commerce, which was run by Ron Brown as a candy store for anybody that would make contributions